Children, it's Mrs. Lee here. It's assembly number 2 and it's the week beginning Monday the 19th of September. How are you? I hope that you are okay. Shall we start with our routine? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Well, I can see on the clock that the long hand, that's the minute hand, is on the number 12. And I know that that means o'clock. And I can also see that the shorthand, that's the hour hand, is pointing towards the number 2. And I know that altogether that means it is, that's right, it's 2 o'clock. What else have we got? Well, we're still in the month of September, so we're still learning our Makaton signs. What's our Makaton sign of the week, though? I can see it. I'm going to bring it closer to you. Ooh, 2 actions to do on this one. Can you read the word? It says peace. Can you say peace? The Makaton sign for peace is this. Can you sign the Makaton sign for peace? You do it. Peace. Peace. Now, why is Mrs. Lee asking us to think about peace? Well, on the 21st of September, and that's coming this week, there is a special day across the whole world that is called the International Peace Day. Mrs. Lee has got a little booklet all about it. One of the symbols of peace is a dove. Have you ever seen a dove? Now, you might be thinking, what does Mrs. Lee mean about the word peace? Well, you might have heard the word peace. Maybe your grown-up at home has said, "Can you give me 5 minutes peace?" In fact, you might have read these 2 books, Peace at Last or 5 Minutes Peace. More about that later. You might have heard your grown-ups in school say, "Let's have some peace," because we want things to be quiet. We want things to maybe be a bit more still. Also, peace means that we need to stop fighting. Now, in the world today, you might know that there isn't peace everywhere. In different countries, there are wars going on, which is very sad. But we can do something to give peace at Hertford Infant School. I wonder if you can see anything behind me that might help. That's right, our golden rules. We always say that our golden rules are here to keep us happy and to keep us safe. But they are also here to keep the peace. And if everybody in our school keeps those 7 golden rules, Hertford will be peaceful. Can you be peaceful? I hope that you can. Now, a long, long time ago, there was a big war. It was called World War II. In fact, I remember that when I was in year 1 and year 2 last year, you were learning about the world wars. And we went to a place called Shuttleworth where we saw lots of aeroplanes. Do you remember? And some of those aeroplanes had been used in the war. Now, at the end of that war, lots of the countries got together. In fact, 51 countries got together in a place called San Francisco in the United States of America. And they all agreed that we needed some peace and we needed some peaceful times. Now, this group of people who wanted to stop wars and the countries to be working together was called the United Nations. And they had lots and lots of different ideas about how to keep things peaceful. In fact, one of the things they came up with in 1981 was celebrating a day around the world called International Peace Day. And I would like us to think about that this week. Now, one of the things I want you to think about, though, is about equality. Now that's a word that we have spoken about before. If you are in year 2, you will remember me talking about equality. Now we know that everybody is different. Have a little look around you. Some of you have got curly hair, some of you have got short hair. Some of you are tall, some of you are small. We're all different. Even inside ourselves, we're different. Some of you are feeling right now happy. Some of you are feeling sad. Maybe some of you are feeling cross and angry. I don't know. But every day we work and we play in school and we're all different. But something we all want is peace. And something we all want is equality. So whether you are short or tall, or maybe your skin is a different colour, or maybe when you speak, you maybe have a different accent. Maybe when you're talking, you don't know all the words in English, and sometimes you have to use our Makaton signs. All sorts of different things make us unique. But that doesn't mean that we can say that that person there, or that person over there, or this person here is any better or worse. We are all equal. And on International Peace Day, we want to think about being peaceful and being equal. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. 5 minutes peace. Now, in this house, I want you to think, is everybody treated equally in this house? Is it peaceful in this house? Are you ready? Show me your good-looking eyes and your good listening ears. Here we go. It's by a very famous author called Jill Murphy. She's no longer with us, but she wrote these wonderful books that we can share today. This book's called 5 Minutes Peace. Oh gosh, I think the characters in this story are elephants. Here we go. The children were having breakfast. This was not a pleasant sight. Do you think those children are keeping our golden rules about looking after property? Throwing things on the floor? Mrs. Large took a tray from the cupboard. She set it with a teapot, a milk jug, her favourite cup and saucer, a plate of marmalade toast and a leftover cake from yesterday, and she stuffed the morning paper into her pocket and she sneaked off towards the door. Where are you going with that tray, Mum? Asked Laura. To the bathroom, said Mrs. Large. Why? Said her other 2 children. Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot, said Mrs. Large. That's why. Oh, can we come? Said Lester as they trailed up the stairs behind her. No, you can't, said Mrs. Large. What shall we do then? Said Laura. Well, you can play downstairs, said Mrs. Large. Downstairs, by yourself. Keep an eye on the baby. I'm not a baby, said the little one. Mrs. Large ran a deep hot bath. She emptied half a bottle of bath foam into the water, plonked on a bath hat, got in, poured herself a cup of tea, lay back. With her eyes closed, it was heaven. Oh, I bet some of your grown-ups like doing that, don't they? I know I do in my house. Can I play you my tune? Asked Lester. Mrs. Large opened one eye. Must you? I've been practising, said Lester. You told me to. Can I? Please, just for 1 minute? Oh, go on then, said Mrs. Large. So Lester played. He played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star 3.5 times. In came Laura. Can I read you a page from my reading book? She asked. No, Laura, said Mrs. Large. Go on, all of you. Go off downstairs. You let Lester play this tune, said Laura. I heard you like him better than me. It's not fair. Oh, don't be silly, Laura, said Mrs. Large. Go on then, just 1 page though. So Laura read. She read 4.5 pages though, of Little Red Riding Hood. In came the little one with a trunk full of toys. For you, he beamed, flinging them all into the bath water. Thank you, dear, said Mrs. Large weakly. Do you think she wanted those toys in there? Can I see the cartoons in the paper, said Laura. Oh, can I have a bit of your cake, said Lester. Can I get in with you, said the little one. Mrs. Large groaned. In the end, they all got in. The little one was in such a hurry that he forgot to take off his pyjamas. Mrs. Large got out. She dried herself, put on her dressing gown and headed for the door. Where are you going now, Mum? Asked Laura. Well, I'm going to the kitchen, said Mrs. Large. Why? Asked Lester. Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot, said Mrs. Large. That's why. And off she went downstairs, where she had 3 minutes and 45 seconds of peace before they all came down and joined her. I love that story. Now this story and Peace at Last and Mrs. Lee's little booklet about International Peace Day are going to be outside Mrs. Lee's office. So maybe at break time or lunchtime if you want to come and have a little look. Or maybe you would like to come and write a comment about how you think we could make Hertford Infant School peaceful. That would be lovely. Now, at the start of the book, I said, I want you to think about, can you remember the words? Oh, I remember. That was right. I wanted you to think, is it peaceful? And is there equality in the book? Well, Mrs. Large was really lovely, wasn't she? Because she let every child in the book join in. So Lester was allowed to do his recorder, and Laura was allowed to read her book, and the little one was allowed to bring his toys in. So she treated them all equally, even though they're all different. But was there much peace? No, there wasn't really, was there? But you can help to make things peaceful, can't you? I hope so. Right, Mrs. Lee's going to end the assembly there. So, come and have a little look at this book. And have a little think about how you can be peaceful. What would you do to make everyone feel included? And is it peaceful in Hertford today? I hope that you've got lots of good answers for that. Right, bye children.